Alright, so next up on the agenda is this guy here. We have the RAM. We are going to be putting in a 290. He brought in this guy here. This is the Kenwood underseat amplified subwoofer. I've never heard one. We don't actually sell this. He got it online. Kind of anxious to hear how it sounds. We'll see. He also brought in the Metra kit as opposed to the best kit. In this particular vehicle, go ahead and remove all this. We have to drill this portion out, put the new kit in so that we can fit a double din up here. It's kind of sweet. The subwoofer is going to go up underneath the seat here. It does need to get connected to the battery. It comes with power wire and all that. No big deal there. And I think we're also going to be doing a backup camera. You excited, Fernando?
I'm excited. Look at me jumping. Woo!
Doesn't it look like an ice cream cone? Looks like an ice cream cone. All right, well, Fernando's excited. I'm excited. Let's get to work, shall we? Yeah. All right, so to get this dash off, there's actually only one screw holding it in place. It's right here. Go ahead and remove that. Pull the little dash panel there. And it will just pop right off. This is a cassette player. So we have some trimming we have to do in order to get a double din in here. We have to trim some stuff up here on the top, as well as remove this portion from the bottom. So we have the dash prepped and ready for the radio to go into it. Let's go ahead and take this over to the bench and get this prepped. Alright, so first thing we want to do when we get this over to the bench is go ahead and remove the pocket and the AC controls. Next, we have to drill all these little tabbies here to make room for the new kit. And we also have to grind these little ones here at the top. So I used a 5/16 drill bit. It seemed to have the best result. What we want to do, these areas that were drilled, we want to go ahead and sand these down flat. They kind of have little burrs. Just carefully do that. Now this kit is slightly different than their competitors. This is the 95/65/22B. Of course, it comes with an instruction manual. Now the way this kit works, that you get this bag of screws here. You get two side brackets to hold the radio, and then you get these guys here. Now what these are designed to do is they're gonna go over this area like this and allow us to put the screws in through the top, holding the kit in via screws. So let's take a look at that. Alright, so now we have the dash back together. We have a double din hole. Now what we need to do is grab the radio and we need to attach these to it. And then we have to go into the car and test fit it because the radio is not attached to this. So we have to work on getting the depth right. Alright, so we have these attached. Let's go into the car. Alright, so we got a ways to go on this one. Looks good. All right, so now we can get on to the wiring harness and getting the rest of this stuff done. So now it's time to get the harness all set and ready to go. A couple things we need to keep in mind. We're adding the backup camera and we're adding the powered sub. So we're gonna need an accessory and a ground for the backup camera, and we're gonna need a remote turn on. So we're gonna cut some wire for that. That'll do it. So we got red, black, and blue. We're gonna go ahead and plug this into the car and see if all these wires that are on this side have a corresponding color on the other side. So the car does not need this blue wire here. This is the amplified antenna turn on. So we'll go ahead and just remove that from the harness. Now we'll go ahead and get the harness ready for our install. Now, one other thing I didn't think to do until just now is because we're adding a backup camera, I'm gonna go ahead and lengthen this purple wire. So what I like to do is once I get the shrink wrap on there, I just put a little zip tie around it like this. Just kind of holds it all so it doesn't slide off, you know, because a lot of the times when you're twisting and soldering, you know, the stuff likes to ride up. All right, so our harness is all set and ready to go. What we have is a remote turn on wire. We have the outputs to feed the camera, and we have the input for the reverse camera. Now, one thing I just noticed is I put the wrong end on the reverse camera input. We want to make sure we put a male on there instead of a female. The reason why is because these are all outputs from the radio. The coming into this wire is going to be an output from the car. So we want to make sure that that doesn't accidentally short out against anything. Now I know we didn't show it, but over in the A pillar here is where the reverse trigger is. It goes up to the mirror. If it has the smart mirror, this one doesn't, but the wire's still there. It's a white light green. Now when connecting or plugging in your backup camera, always make sure that you plug it into the port that is for the backup camera. Some radios have multiple yellow inputs on the back of them that are for video inputs and whatnot, and not necessarily backup cameras. Pioneers, all the backup camera inputs are brown. You got me woke up. The battery's getting burned. So the radio's in, all centered up and looking nice. Let's take a look under the seat. The secret to these is mounting them firmly to the car. If you're getting one of these, like if this is like your idea of bass and you want it, make sure that it is screwed into the frame of the car all the way. These things can't be laying under the seat. You want these things as tight to the floor as possible. That way they couple to the floor and cause the frame to vibrate some. At that point, what it helps to turn into is like a bass shaker that will cause more vibration in the car, thus giving the illusion of a little bit more bass. And that's just it, it's a little bass, but hey, he brought it in, we installed it, it's good to go. All right, this car is done. Let's check out the backup camera. Forgot, we need to do the backup camera. Go ahead and throw it in reverse. All right, there we go. So for this one, we went ahead and went with the Pioneer camera and the Alpine shell. All right, now this one is done. So cool, on to the next one.